Hi students of class 12 CBSE, I am here with Flamingo. The lesson is going places. First of all, before I go into the lesson, I would like to tell you something about the teenage problems or teenage fantasy. Actually, teenage is a time of life when they imagine a lot, they fantasize a lot, they create a world of their own making, because their dream is big and the realities of their life is so pressing on them, they want to get out of it. Because parents are mostly realists, no doubt they are realist, parents are realist, and they want to impose their limitations on the children. Children know that parents can't fulfill all their dreams, and plus that the realities which surround them are not so interesting, it's so boring, monotonous and oppressive that they tend to come out of it. The teenagers want to come out of. So actually this is modern day problems. They have big dream, they fantasize a lot, but when they confront the realities, they are not strong enough to accept it, they are not strong enough to come to terms with it. And in this story, the chief character Sophie has the same problem. She imagines that she meets a star footballer, Danny Casey, almost every day or every now and then, but there is nobody to believe her. Her father, her brother and her friend Jancy, nobody believes her, because who will believe? Actually she lives in a make-believe world, in a world of fantasy, her own imaginary world. And when she tells anybody that she meets Danny Casey on a regular basis, who will believe it? So this is her problem, and she wants to convince people, and thereby she wants to get their respect, get importance, that she is something. Okay, but when there is no taker of her idea, no taker of this narrative that she meets Danny Casey, she is disappointed, she is hugely disappointed. To begin with, she is seen returning from school with her friend Jancy, and she expresses her desire to open a boutique. Jancy raises the question, because she is a realist, that where from will the money come? Then she expresses her desire that she would become a manager. Then again Jancy reminded her that it is never easy, that they will not make you a manager straight away. Then she had other ideas also. She will become an actress, and actress does not work all time, they are not fully engaged all day, so she will spare some time for her boutique. Then she compared herself with Mary Quant. She was a very natural talent. She overestimates herself. She thinks that she is very talented, she is naturally gifted, and such gifted person can't be stopped in life. She will realize all her dreams, she will become what she wants to become. But Jancy is a hardcore realist. She cuts her and she always tries to prune her wings. Sophie wants to fly. Jancy always reminds her, she is her conscience keeper, a critic, a hardcore realist she is. So she says that this is not easy, we are destined to work in a biscuit factory, this much only, and don't fly high, don't dream high, otherwise you will come to disappointment. She returns home. The surroundings inside her home is very oppressive. Dirt, filth, poverty, steaming room and washings everywhere. Her mother, she is with a crooked body. Her father, who is a laborer who returns from work, and he is sweating, and he is a rough and tough person. The kind of surrounding she finds herself in, her home, she wants to run away from there. And her father always disdains it, is always angry when she tries to make him realize that she meets Danny Casey. Her father does not believe her, and he is very angry with her. He warns her that if she continues in the same way, she will be in trouble. He tries to make her realize that she should get out of all these nonsense. So she goes to her brother Geoff, who is repairing his motorcycle, and he is busy with his work. She confides in him that she met Danny Casey near the arcade. As she was looking at the soft window of Royce's, she met him. and he was of a kind of quiet person, shy person, not very tall, a very upturned nose, freckled nose, and green simmering eyes and all such. But he was also in no mood to accept it, but he is at least a good listener. He does not completely reject her ideas, her narratives, but at least he gives her a patient hearing. Then he is interested in her brother's world. He goes to work every day on his motorcycle, and she imagines that he may be very interesting friends. So she wants to be included in his world. But he is a very reserved sort of person. The words are to be prized out of him like a stone from the ground. So he does not tell her much about workplace, friends and all kinds of things. Then what transpires is very interesting. He tells his father that Sophie met Danny Casey. Her father again became angry and warned her to get out of these things. But the whole family, all the members of the family are football fans. Every Saturday they go to watch match in which Danny Casey plays. Danny Casey plays from United, and on a particular day he scored a goal crisply, and they were all ecstatic. Her father was also a great football fan, so in order to celebrate the victory he drank a lot of wine at the pub. So actually whole family was deep into the football, and this was the case. But she keeps narrating her story to her friend, I mean Jancy, and to her brother Geoff. One day she met Jancy, and Jancy told her, what is all this Danny Casey matter, that your brother was telling my brother Frank that you meet Danny Casey, please come out of it. She was very angry because she knew that Jancy was a nosy kind of person. Once she got to know it, she will spread the news everywhere. The whole neighborhood would come to know of this, and then finally when her father comes to know of this, he would simply murder her. So she feared it all, okay? And finally the realization comes to her. One day she goes to a lonely place. She walks along the canal. It is an area which is quite secluded from the town and town, and she is waiting for Danny Casey. For the first time she began to realize that he will not come, and this acceptance of reality is too much with her. Her heart becomes heavy. Doubts start stirring in her. For the first time she was face to face with reality, and reality was overpowering. Though acceptance was not there, actually the realization, resignation does not come easily. The very acceptance that Danny Casey was not the reality of her life, or that Danny Casey did not know her, all these things started dawning on her, and she became very sad, and she is unable to accept this heavy weight of sadness on her heart. She is returning home with a very heavy heart. For the first time she begins to realize that she would never be able to prove it to the world that she ever met with Danny Casey. But she knew in the heart of her heart that she had once met with him. But the problem is that the reality is too painful for her, and because she has lived all these months and years in the world of fantasy, it becomes very difficult for her to accept this reality. For the first time she starts realizing that Danny Casey will never come. It was not a reality, and she will never be able to prove to the world that she ever met with Danny Casey. She returns home. Her movements are very slow, and for the first time she realizes that she had been living in a make-believe world, in her world of her own making. It was the world of fantasy, and this acceptance is very, very painful to her. So the message of this story, students, is that we should not live in the world of fantasy, and if we have any dream, we should have wherewithal, we should have the capacity to realize our dreams, and our dreams should be according to our capacities, according to our abilities. Our dreams should not be only fantastic, unreal and a kind of fairy tale. It should be realistic, something which are realizable, something which we can realize. But with Sophie, this is the problem. Born in a poor family, she dreamed of flying high, but she came to disappointment. So this is the message loud and clear to all of us, to all the teenagers. Please dream you must. Your dream will drive you to success, but at the same time Your dream should not be fantastic, should not be utopian, and should be a kind of dream which you can realize. So students, I am sure you have understood everything in this story that I have taught you. Okay, if you have any queries to make, write in the comment section, subscribe to my channel. Have a brilliant day.